Hello. I am about 2 weeks out from my Italy trip. I just got back, about 2 weeks ago now. Had some time to decompress, to get back into the swing of things, and I plan on sharing so much with you today, like literally so much. However, I just wanted to start off with a few things that are changing before we get into the goods of Italy. Because if you've been following me on like Instagram or TikTok, I've been posting on TikTok nowadays. Like I went crazy on Instagram and TikTok, and it was so funny because usually whenever I travel, I don't like posting on social media at all. I'm like, oh no, I'm doing other things, all this stuff. But for whatever reason, on this trip, I was feeling it. Like I was in the freaking zone. My social media was popping off on Instagram, on TikTok, on Threads. I was magnetic. Everything felt so good. And I just felt this desire to put out more content. So I'm getting ahead of myself, but we're going to go into more Italy stuff here in a little. But I just wanted to share with you some updates that are happening both to this podcast, this YouTube channel, my social media content in general. Like I feel like I'm going through this big shift and up level and change right now, which is really exciting because I've been feeling like I've needed some sort of a shift for a while now, and I didn't 100% know what that looked like, but it's happening. It's here. It's coming to fruition, y'all. And I'm just so excited to share it with you. So number one, what is happening with this podcast, with this YouTube channel? It's not going away. I promise I will still be here. We have been putting out 2 to 3 episodes a week on the podcast / YouTube channel for over a year now, which is crazy. And as you know, like in the podcast, in the YouTube channel, I talk a lot about real estate investing tactics, bringing on other real estate investors who got started investing in real estate, who have either reached financial freedom or on their way to reaching financial freedom. That's not going away. We're still keeping that. However, instead of doing 2 episodes a week, we're moving it to 1 episode a week. So instead of our Monday, Wednesday episodes, now we're going to be doing just a new episode every Tuesday. And that's actually to create space for something new that's coming. But so for a while now, I have just been feeling kind of tired by social media. I think everyone is feeling really tired by social media, but there's so much stuff that I still have to say. I've been craving like a closer, more tight-knit community, which is so hard to do when you're doing short form videos, especially like on my accounts. The things that really like pop off and bring people in are my shorter like 7-second B-roll reels. And the thing is like I've never been a videographer, honestly, truly. Like it's never been my forte. I've never had this huge desire to create videos or anything like that. I feel like I was forced into it because of social media / I chose to do it, which, don't get me wrong, has been incredible. I feel like I've learned so much and just have become more aware of what I enjoy doing and what I don't. That being said, I don't 100% know if I want to do like that kind of social media forever. I do, however, love community building. I love writing. I started writing like things on Threads earlier this year. For some reason, I just had this pull. I was like, I don't know why, but I feel this need to post on Threads. I didn't really know many other people posting on Threads yet. And then I started posting and just started popping off, honestly. Like, turns out a lot of my content, the way that I'm able to formulate it, phrase it, does really well on Threads, which is really cool because I love written content. If you've met me and if you know me, I sometimes, like my brain, whenever I'm speaking out loud, is just a little bit all over the place. I have ideas that come into my brain and then another idea comes and then I stop saying what I was saying before and I move on to this new topic and I'm just like a little bit scattered. And it's always been kind of hard for me to really be super concise and straight to the point when it comes to speaking out loud, which has been so interesting because, like, for example, the interview podcast episodes that I do, I find to be super, super easy. Whenever I'm doing a solo episode, I generally find that I have to think about it so much more and really and sometimes even write the whole script out because otherwise I go off on tangents. And so while I do love the podcast, what I'm being called to is just to write more. And so I've been writing, which has been really great because I do think that at some point in time, I also want to write a book, and I have these grand ideas and I have these visions of me in the middle of nowhere with a beautiful lake and mountains writing a book that's going to absolutely change people's lives, right? And so I've been writing a lot more, and it started off with just writing on Threads, and then I started taking the ideas that I had on Threads and really going deep with it, going super deep. And so it turns out people like it. Like, I don't have a huge sample size for it yet because I barely actually told anyone about it. But this is why I'm telling you. And it's a reminder too, like, starting something new is always super scary. This is all a roundabout way to say that I have started a Substack. Now, I am so excited about this because I feel like on Substack, the community, the vibes are just different. This isn't social media. It's not like quick random crap on the internet that trolls come and they're like, oh, you said this in like a 7-second video. You can't like really get like the nuances. It's so much harder to get your whole viewpoint across. Now, the reason that I like Substack is it's basically old school blogging. I find that the people on there who are reading the posts, like, they're so much more intellectual, right? Like, there are people who that's what they want to do. They want to read, they want to learn, they want to grow. And that's like more of the community that I want to build, is people who aren't just trying to find a quick fix. Like, they're really trying to step up in their lives. And then the other cool thing about Substack is you can really create actual community there. For example, in Substack, I've created this whole like group chat feature so people can ask me questions there directly, and we're going to be running challenges in there. And it's just amazing too, because it's like a low barrier to entry way for people to really like build a community together. And the thing about my Substack, it's going to be completely different than any of my other social media. I feel like a lot of my social media tends to be somewhat prescriptive in the sense it's like, okay, you go buy real estate, you go do this, you go house hack, these are the strategies, these are different loan options, all of that. And I'm not going to lie, y'all, I get bored of talking about that. Like, it's hard because I find it to be so important and I want to help so many people, which is why it's not going away. The thing that I really want to talk about is the woman or the person you have to become in order to truly live the life that you want. Because here's the thing, even with real estate investing, whatever path you choose, right? Just doing the thing, so just buying a property or buying 5 properties or starting a business, right? If you don't really understand why you're doing it, and if you don't actually go through the personal development steps to be the person who's able to actually live your dream life, that's like a quick way to burn out. That's a quick way to building something that you are not aligned with at all. You guys have been following me for a while now, or some of you, maybe it's your first time seeing me here, but I'm in the process of like, my real big goal is I want to do $1 million in a year. I'm gunning for this year. It could be next year, but like, I know in my soul that I have that ability, but I also want to do it my way, because so many people get to $1 million a year, but they're just grinding and forcing it and doing what other people have told them to do, and it's not really aligned with who they are. But I want to, like, my whole thing is I want to document the journey and share the journey of doing it my way, so that it gives you permission to do it your way too. But the thing that people don't realize is there are so many levels to getting there. And then even 7 figures and beyond, getting to 8 figures, getting to 9 figures, whatever you want for yourself. And I really want to show the behind the scenes of truly building a life that you are abso-freaking-lutely obsessed with, that's filled with love and adventure and tons of wealth and experiences you could only dream of, right? And so that is what I'm really excited to talk about on Substack. We're going to be talking about not only even just building a business, but also, like, I plan on probably moving to Italy in the next like year or so, at least part-time. Like, I want to split time and do transcontinental living. It's been something that's been on my mind for many years now. And I feel like I'm approaching that time where it feels right, which is really cool. So we'll be talking about that and navigating just the challenges and the bigger level conversations that happen when you're reaching that next level. So my Substack, it's called Your Leap Year, okay? Because something I feel like I'm actually really good at, it's taking a leap into that next level, that next version of who I need to be to accomplish my dreams, to accomplish my goals. And I'm really good at helping other people do that too, because that's what we do in the Wanderlust Wealth Academy and in my coaching program. It's like helping people get to that next level. If it is buying property, if it is traveling the world, if it is quitting your job, if it is starting a business, whatever that looks like, a lot of the time you just need help actually taking the leap. And it's not a strategy thing. It's not a, you go buy a property, you have to use this loan, this kind of blah, 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 blah. Who is the person that you have to become to actually achieve your goals and have the confidence to take the leap and actually take the leap? So those are the things that we're really going to be talking about there on Substack, which is very different to what we talk about on all other social media. I also want to show you to like give yourself permission to evolve, right? Like, I think a lot of the time we get so stuck in the person we think we're supposed to be, or we spent so much time getting to this level, like what if everything crumbles if I switch over and change things? I'm also doing this publicly because I want to show you that you're allowed to evolve, and evolving is so important if you actually want to get to the next level in life. So I want you to go ahead and subscribe at oliviatati.substack.com. That is where the Substack is located, your leap year. Now, there are two different tiers. There's a free tier and then there's a paid tier. The free tier is still going to be awesome. The paid tier is going to be a lot more intimate. That's where the group chat really is going to be. It's super affordable, $5.55 a month. This is what it's going to be. At first, it's probably going to go up over time, but get in right now, like within the next couple of weeks at this super, super low price. And for the paid members, we're going to have things like challenges. There's going to be extra voice notes. We're going to have the group chat. It's going to be a way more intimate experience. And on top of that, for anyone who does the paid version, I am going to be doing a giveaway. So there will be a giveaway for everyone who does the paid version, $25 gift card. You're going to be entered into the giveaway. All you have to do is send a screenshot to me of you signing up for the paid version for the VIP membership. And then you'll be entered into a giveaway to win a $25 gift card, just as a token of my appreciation. So go ahead, check out the Substack, oliviatati.substack.com. If any of the posts in there, like they're like long written posts, if any of those like hit close to the soul for you and you feel like a friend of yours needs to hear it or a family member needs to hear it, please, please, please share it with them. Okay, comment below, like the post, interact. The goal is to really create community and to just like show people that you don't have to do this alone. Okay, let's get into the Italy magic now, okay?
Hey girl, if you've been dreaming about building generational wealth and living life on your own terms, this one's for you. Now, 5 years ago, I was right where you are, okay? Burnt out, working a corporate engineering job, grinding with no real freedom in sight. Then I bought my first investment property, learned how to live for free, and started making money in my sleep. That one decision changed absolutely everything. I stopped relying on my 9 to 5 and eventually walked away from it for good. And trust me, I don't regret it. Now I'm on a mission to help other people do the same, which is exactly why I created Wanderlust Wealth Academy, a transformational program and community where I teach you how to buy your first or next investment property and live for free in 2025. Now, this community is for 3 kinds of people, okay? If you are stuck in a job that you don't love, secretly dreaming of more freedom, more travel, and more passive income, and you know you don't want to be climbing the corporate ladder for the next 10, 20, 30 years, this is for you. Or maybe you're a digital nomad or a travel girly who just wants to build wealth and create stability without giving up your freedom. Or maybe you're a business owner or high-earning corporate baddie who just sees the market volatility and knows that it's time to diversify your income. If any of those sound like you and you're making at least $75,000, ideally 6 figures, and have a minimum of $10,000 that you can put towards a property, then go ahead and apply for the Wanderlust Wealth Academy. Now, this is going to be a completely free call to see if you're a good fit for us and also for us to see if we're a good fit for you. You can go ahead and apply at oliviatati.com/apply WWA. That's oliviatati.com/apply WWA. Or you can just go ahead and click the link in the show notes. Now, spots are limited. We only take a few new folks a month. So make sure to apply now before there are no spots left, and they go pretty quick. Because my girl, freedom is so much closer than you think. Also, to everyone who is watching on YouTube, apologies for the mess in my room in the first part of that. I just needed to get the ball rolling. I feel like I've been avoiding filming and recording podcasts. I feel like I've had a lot to say, but I've been kind of letting my creative energy out more so in written form than by speaking. And I just needed to pick up the camera and start going, which is why I picked up my little DJI Osmo Pocket 3 for anyone who is a camera nerd out there, and just started recording even though my bedroom was a mess. But let's talk Italy, shall we? So I got back from Italy at the beginning of June at this point, and y'all, this was truly the most rejuvenating trip that I've been on in a long time. This trip fueled my soul so much more than I could have ever imagined, truly. And it's like, for some reason, earlier this year, I just knew that I needed to go to Italy. Actually, it was actually end of last year because I didn't get to go last year. And I've been going every year since 2021, but I didn't get to go last year because I was buying a house and I'd already planned my trip to Argentina with all my friends for my 30th and I wanted something different. But like, I just love Italy. And I've gone over so many things as to why I love Italy. And, if you're into astrocartography, I even went over that. My sun line goes through Italy. But there's something about me and Italy that it's just this energy, this magnetic energy where I feel like I am unstoppable. Like, truly, I feel hot. I feel sexy. I feel beautiful. I feel magnetic. Like, Italy just gives me life. And so, like I was saying before, usually when I travel, I actually try and batch a lot of my content before. Like, I even hired an editor who's editing this right now, who was going to help me create content for Instagram beforehand so that I could keep having content come out but not be the one like having to actually like make the content and all of that, because I thought that when I'd be in Italy I just like wouldn't want to do anything basically. But it was literally the opposite. Like, when I say I was pumping out content like no other, just on the fly, I was in the zone, and on both TikTok, on Instagram, on threads. My threads were out of control. And this is the thing. It's like, especially when you travel, these are when the real stories are made. Whenever I don't have things to reflect on, it's usually because I've been like stuck in my house or I've been just like stuck in one place for too long. And I just like need to get out because that's when like I'm able to really form different perspectives and see the world in a different way and be able to understand like, oh, we do it like this way. Why is it different here? I know everything. And so that's what even spurred me like wanting to start a Substack, because I had like all of these ideas and all these things that I wanted to talk about on social media. But once again, with all of them, with TikTok, with Instagram, with threads, it's all these short, tiny little snippets. So you really can't get like the full essence of it out. Italy was fabulous. Started off in Milan, went from Milan to Lake Como. I did both of those with one of my best friends, like one of my oldest friends. We've been friends since I was 7, basically. She's from the UK. And it was just so fun. Like, we haven't done a trip like that together ever, which was really, really amazing. She met me there. I literally messaged her like a month before the trip being like, hey, you should just come to this with me. And I had nothing planned, nothing figured out, but she just jumped in and went with it. And it was the best. And then she came to Venice with me as well, which is where we went after. And then I met another friend of mine. She actually came down with her baby and her husband and just committed. And they took a 21-hour ferry from Spain to Italy to come see me in Venice, which I thought was absolutely insane. But it's like they had a newborn baby. They wanted to bring their car and they were like, let's just make a road trip out of it. But remember, if they wanted to, they would. But yeah, so then went to Venice. After Venice, I went solo for a week, went to Bologna, went to Florence, and then I did a retreat in Tuscany, and we'll go over that a little bit, which was absolutely amazing as well. Now, here's what I really realized about me in Italy versus me in the US. In the US, I'm such a go-getter, which is a beautiful, wonderful, fantastic thing. But I am like, I'm on it. I am working, I am hustling, I am grinding, I am getting stuff done, right? Like, it is happening. But I don't like being in that energy for too long. And I've always been this way, even when I was in undergrad. I think the reason why I liked school so much is because you'd work really hard for 3 or 4 months and then you had vacation, right? That doesn't happen in the corporate world. However, when I'm in Italy, I am so much more in my feminine. I am creative. I just am. I exist. I be. I do art. I love life. I take it a lot slower. I savor all the moment. And the thing that I realize is I just need both in my life. And yes, obviously I can create more softness, more slowness in Colorado, but I also love just like the different cultures. Like, I love that I get to speak Italian and I get to listen to Italian and I'm hearing people speaking different languages, and what people value there is so different, right? Like, if I ask someone to go hang out on a Tuesday, they're not like, oh, well, I get really tired after work and I don't know. I don't go out during the weekdays and, well, I got to be in bed by 8. No, it's just like a completely different vibe there. And I love just the community feel. There's so many other things, and go follow me on Substack and on Threads if you want like my more in-depth hot takes about everything culturally there. But what I realize is I'm really craving like transcontinental living. So spending time in the US and spending time particularly in Italy. It could be other places in Europe. I've tried a bunch of other places. Like I went to Portugal for a few months. I've lived in Spain for a month. I've lived all over the place. And I just, for whatever reason, because of my astrocartography chart, maybe, love Italy. I love it so much. It feels like home. It feels right to me. Like when I go there, it feels like I just belong. And so it was also so interesting because I went on this retreat with other entrepreneurial women. It wasn't just entrepreneurial women, to be fair. It was mainly women, but there were some men there too. But it was this retreat that was a Michelin star food and wine culinary retreat. So fabulous. Nomad Homes. We actually had Kella on the podcast few months ago. So definitely go check out her episode. But this retreat was so soul nourishing because here's the thing. The last few years, I've been to a lot of retreats, but they were all business retreats at the end of the day. They were real estate investing retreats, business retreats, how to scale all this random like crap, right? Which is not crap. I'm just tired of it. I've done so much of it. And what I'm really craving more is understanding truly what is the lifestyle that I want to live. What are my like long-term goals? And I'm getting so clear about that and really being intentional about creating the life that I want, especially so that 5 year from now me can look back and be like, damn, yes, you did it. Because that's how I'm feeling right now. Right now, I'm looking back at 5 years ago me who was burnt out in corporate America, hating her job, realizing like this isn't it, wondering if there was a way out. And I was like, gosh, I wish in 5 years I could find my way out. I somehow found my way out earlier than that. But like when I think about 5 years from now, me, I might be thinking about kids. I might be married. I don't like, there's so many things that I think I'm going to be entering into a new season of life. And so what I feel like I'm doing now is really prepping for this next season and really making it a reality. But yeah, so on the retreat, it was other female and male entrepreneurs. And like instead of talking about like business strategy and all of this stuff, what we were really talking about was like the lifestyle that we've created for ourselves and the lifestyle that we really want to live. And we talked about life and love and relationships and everything, the holistic approach to life where it's not just about money, it's not just about business, it's not just about real estate investing, because we do all of this for the whole, right? For the whole life thing. What do we want our entire actual life to look like? And what I realized is, my entire life I've been on hustle mode. And don't get me wrong, I'm good at hustle mode. Even once I quit corporate America, I still kind of like went into hustle mode because that's all I really knew. And now I'm kind of slowing it back down, which is why I'm also loving Substack, because it's a way for me to slow down but like build even deeper connection. So I'm trying to be even more intentional with the content that I'm putting out, where it doesn't feel as much of like a hamster wheel and trying to tick the box. This is how you buy real estate, right? It's like, okay, who do we actually have to become? Because even when I think about the conversations that are happening right now in my coaching program, Wanderlust Wealth Academy, it's not like, yes, we obviously have the questions that it's like, what loan should I use? Women that have been in there for a little bit now, it's more so, I'm hitting this edge, I'm hitting this boundary, or I'm getting these tests, right? Where my friends are asking me to use my property and like, I don't really know what to do. And I'm having to step into this new level of leadership, into this new level of setting boundaries. Like, how do I handle that? Or like, this is really starting to feel hard, or this is starting to feel exhausting. And it's like understanding that, you're increasing your capacity, and right. And there's a difference between burnout and increasing your capacity. And so these are really the topics that we're diving into in the coaching program, things that we don't even think about, right? Like everyone thinks that you just need the strategy. You just need to know like, okay, well, how do I get the next property? No, but like there's so much more that goes into it, because you can know all of the strategy that you want. You can learn like all the strategies online. Honestly, like all the information out there is online. Like I put YouTube videos out like this telling you the entire strategy. What people really need, the implementation, it's the personal development that happens. It's the growing of who you are, stepping into that next level version of yourself. That is what it takes. And I realized for me, like I'm stepping into this next level, like CEO version of myself as well, that is softer but firmer. I know that sounds weird, but yeah, soft but firm, where it's like I have much stricter boundaries. I have honestly like bigger decisions that I'm having to make. And so I can't like sweat the small stuff, right? But that's also like leading me to live a softer, more easeful life versus like constantly being on this hamster wheel. And so these are the things that we really talk about, like even in Your Leap Year, my Substack. It's the things that we're thinking late at night or when we're out on a walk and we're just like, how do we handle this? Or why is this happening, right? And it's crazy because all it did was it took me going to Italy, obviously, to figure out that I wanted to go more in this direction. But this is why I always say, go travel, go explore. You never know like how it's just going to completely change your mind. Because if you told me earlier this year that this is what I'd be writing a Substack, creating my own Substack and writing, like, y'all, I'm just going to tell you something. So when I was in college, a friend of mine who is not a friend of mine anymore, literally, I think I don't even remember what I was writing. I think we had to write essays or something like that. And she told me, she was like, yeah, you're not a good writer. Your writing's really bad. And I was like, bitch. You know? I was like, excuse you? And it's so funny because now I'm writing a ton and everyone says my writing is really good. This is where you cannot let other people's opinions get you down. You have to get out there. You have to try things and you have to see what you actually like, right? But yeah, so it made me think about like, who am I actually putting out there into the world? Like, what is this brand, like this Olivia Tati brand, right? That I'm putting out there, and what do I want to be known for, and what impact do I actually want to have? When I think about it, like, it's not this like hustle mode, it's this doing life with pure alignment, doing life your way. And your way is going to be different from the next person's way, but we have to go through these up levelings of ourselves, of our being to get there. That's really what I want to talk about. Okay. So, Italy, I have committed, like, in the next year, I am going to live there part time. Like, if it's 3 months a year, if it's right now, technically, I can only do 3 months a year because allowances, and I don't have a visa yet, but I may end up getting a visa. I want to buy property there within the next 2 years, I would say is ideal. Also, it's so funny because everyone's like, I want to go buy property abroad, but they never realize, like, this is why I always tell people, buy a property in the US first. It's so much quicker, so much easier. If you go buy abroad, the process takes so much longer. Like, it can take 6 months. Like, I'm talking to a few realtors and they're like, oh yeah, you got to pay like $10,000 fee to work with this realtor, and they don't have like a centralized MLS, and things are so much more all over the place and disorganized, which is totally fine. You just have to know it's a way longer process. So that's why whenever, people come to me, I always ask, like, what is your goal? Like, where are you trying to be in the next like 2 to 5 years? Right now, I'm not like interested in buying properties purely for profit. Like, there really has to be an emotional connection to it, which is why right now I'm really only looking at properties in Italy or in the mountains in Colorado. That's where I plan on buying within the next 2 years, are just those two places. And like, yes, they will still be profitable, and yes, they will still make money, but they also have to be like a heart soul project, which is not where everyone is, right? Like, if you're trying to quit your job in 5 years, it probably doesn't matter. It probably doesn't matter. You just need to go buy properties wherever the numbers make sense, right? Right now, I'm considering either going to Italy later this year for a month, maybe Milan, and then I will definitely go for at least a month or two next year, earlier in the year, maybe April, May time. We'll see. But that is where I'm trending. That is where I'm heading. I also keep saying that maybe I'll marry an Italian husband. Who knows? Maybe I'll look back at this video in a few years and cringe. Who knows? But that is where I'm at. And I am just like loving this new season of life. I feel like the first few months of the year were really just like an internal battle, an internal turmoil of like, oh my gosh, I want to grow this business. How am I going to do it? I don't know if I 100% am like aligned right now with the way I'm running my business, to really like honing in now and getting so clear and loving my business. I'm hiring. I'm like really working towards building something that's truly like a soul passion, like 7-figure business, which is crazy to say because not everyone chooses to build things like that. But I know for me, that was something so important. Okay, that was like a very long time of rambling. I feel like this was a really long episode. I had very few notes and just kind of went with it. But I hope you enjoyed this episode. If this resonated or if you really liked it, I would really appreciate it if you left a review. We've been really light on reviews lately. So please leave a review, screenshot it, send me a screenshot. I'll also put you in the raffle for a $25 gift card. Okay. So, or a raffle, a giveaway for a $25 gift card. So 2 ways to get into the giveaway. Number 1, write a review for the podcast on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify. Leave a 5-star review, screenshot it, and send it to me on Instagram at the Olivia Tati and you'll get 2 entries if you do both of them. Okay. Each one counts as 1 entry. Go to oliviatati.substack.com, subscribe to your leap year Substack. And if you do a paid subscription, also send me a screenshot DM it to me or email it to me at the Olivia Tati on Instagram, and you will also be entered into the giveaway. Okay, I love you. Stay safe. Bye, fam. Thank you so much for listening to Wanderlust Wealth Show. Now, don't forget to follow the podcast, or if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to hit that subscribe button. If you love this episode, it would literally mean the world to me if you shared this with a friend or a family member, or literally like anyone off of the street. Like right now, go ahead, share it so you don't forget, or post it on social media and make sure to tag me. I love seeing what you're listening in on and what you resonated with, and I'm just so freaking thankful for you. I'm so freaking excited for you. I love you, and don't forget, life really doesn't have to be hard.